Now, when you're talking to this person, and I seem small here, preserve life. That is your outcome. You don't want that person to take their own lives. So, because they could be a danger, not only to themselves, but a danger to other people as well. Now, I remember some years ago, a guy he was on a naval ship. He got stressed. He had a mental health condition that wasn't flagged up. And one time he got a gun and shot 7 colleagues. He just shot them all. Yeah. And then shot himself. You know? So you want to think about, because you're going to be meeting people all the time, you want to think about saving people. You don't know what conversations you're having with people right now that are making a difference. If you're giving them some kind of a positive suggestion, you're stopping them from doing something, possibly self-harming themselves, possibly because they may be overthinking about maybe issues that are not there. And I've already said this before, it's all about how we label our experiences, how much on the inside we go, of all the nasty consequences of something that isn't really there. I call it an illusion because it's how you are labeling these experiences. So, alleviate immediate suffering by providing comfort and support, preventing the condition from developing into a more serious problem, because it will. And sometimes you may say to yourself, well, what do I say? You gave a good example of the way you worked. What do I say to someone suffering? What do I say to them? What do I say to someone that is suffering? And how are you going to help them? And I'll tell you one thing now, sometimes it's not just about saying things. It's not just about saying things.
I think the best thing is it's just, when somebody's going through that kind of situation, you're going to just say, yeah, okay, we go through this yet, but we all bring it.
All right.
At the end of the day, I know what you're going through. Well, you don't know what he's going through, obviously, but you say, yeah, I've got an idea what he's going through, because I know that mental health.
Okay, all right. I'm saying, you know, sometimes when you're going through something, and then someone says to you, I'm not knocking what you're saying. They say, I know what you're going through. What do you say to that? No, you damn don't. Because I own my own feelings. Someone said that to me. I said, no, you don't. Made me very angry. I said, how do you know what I'm going through? That's what I said. But my point is this. Sometimes you are right you're talking on an empathetic level, which is fine. Empathy doesn't always cut it. It won't always cut it. So sometimes what I'm saying to you is, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing, but listen. You know how powerful that is when you just listen. That's pure empathy, that is. Because your body language speaks volumes. So you don't say anything, just listen to what they're saying. When you started off there and you said, okay, would you like to talk some more? So you're just you don't need to say anything. And sometimes you might have a few dead silences. They might be in there. You wait. And I'll tell you why in a bit, because there's an experience that I had that will come up in a bit. Sometimes you just wait and pause, because you might be talking to that person over there. I know someone that's been through bullying, and they says to me, I stopped talking. I stopped talking to people. Totally stopped talking. And I had a nervous breakdown. I stopped talking to people. So I wanted to know a little bit more about him. And he said, that's what happened to me. And he goes, and I took him to court, but I was in a bad state because I just stopped talking to people. And that was what he was doing. So if someone stops talking and they've got a nervous breakdown, because they could come to work and they're just broken down and they're just literally sitting there like, that can happen. But if you're talking to them, you need to allow them. He said to me, I couldn't actually talk. He lost his ability to talk. He was in a real bad state. So sometimes when you're asking them a question, and I'll give you an experience on this, it's best to wait and pause. You must wait and pause, because they are really finding it hard to talk. And if you come across a catatonic person, a catatonic person doesn't talk. They could be not talking for several years. That's going to be even more difficult. But when you're communicating with this person, you've got to wait. I mean, there's levels of mental health where people actually want to be really powerful. They want to control their inner world. And that is by choosing to talk to anybody when they want to talk. I think we may have all been through that at some point as well. You know, when you feel that you just don't want to talk to anybody. It happens to me after every session, especially when I meet this guy over here. All right. Yeah, so choosing, being very wise with your listening skills. If somebody comes to you, open your ears up, watch them very carefully. You don't need to make deep eye contact and see how the eyes are flickering, but listen to them very, very carefully and see what they're saying. Maybe you think you understand them, but you need to get a broader picture. It's like when I was talking to you the other day, I was trying to get a picture of where you were at exactly and what your goal was, because most of the people coming to me are coming for this specific job role, or they're not coming for development. They decide to come for development sometimes afterwards, after they come on the first program. So I was trying to picturesque where you were, and that's why I continued with that conversation. But yeah, all right, so